Hi, Bill.
How you doing?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays, Bill.
Good to see you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Hi, Ashland people.
Well, we're here for another Badgers. We made it for another year. It's Christmas time.
1997.
We did it again. I can't believe it.
A good year.
It's been a good year for everybody.
On a safety note, Bill, last year we had no injuries related to safety things that we talked about.
They go together.
Absolutely.
A Merry Christmas and a safe Christmas.
Safe Christmas, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're here to talk to all the residents from Ashland about some new things this year. We're going to repeat some of the safety tips from last year. But we're also going to add some new ones about shopping and maybe some things the shoppers should be aware about too. Especially when they go to the malls and they have a long way to walk. Maybe they should prepare themselves, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But let's talk about tree safety, tree lighting, and house lighting right now. That sound like a good idea?
Sure.
Sounds good to me. I think the best way to start with a safe Christmas tree is to get a fresh one. We've grabbed one from the lot here, and as we explained last year, if you take and grasp your hand around the needles, not real tight, but not too loose either, and pull off, you should get very few needles in your hand. That'll tell you it's a fresh tree. That's the best way to start. The next thing is to, when you get it home, just before you set it up, cut 1 inch off the butt of the tree. Put it in water, get it in a stand, and get it set up. If you wait after you've made that cut more than an hour or an hour and a half, what will happen, the tree will seal itself and it won't take in water. Any tree that you get from either a pre-cut seller such as myself or from a tree farm will seal itself up in that hour and a half period. You want to make sure that the pores are open so that it will take in water. It's especially important the first 3 days to make sure that that tree does not run out of water. If it runs out of water, you're better off taking off all the decorations and recutting it and starting all over again. It's a pain in the neck. It's one of those things you want to do right the first time. The next thing is to make sure you get safe lights. The mini lights which they now sell all have 2 little cartridge fuses in the plugs. They're also very cool to the touch when the light is lit. You should use these on your tree rather than the old-fashioned bigger bulbs which are called C7s. They tend to get hot and they help dry out the tree. If there is a short in one of the little mini light strands, those fuses will blow out and it won't let any more electricity pass through the wire to the tree. So they're very safe to use. That does not mean that you should leave a lighted tree unattended, however. You should always be around when those lights are on. If you're finished using the tree or being around the tree, you should turn off the lights.
You gotta cut. I gotta go to work.
Okay.
Keep it going.
Good.
Well, as you can see, Ashland has a very busy fire department. Mr. Iarusi had to take off on a call, and so we'll try and continue without him, though without him, we usually are lost.
Yeah, I lost my partner, but go ahead, Bill. We'll do the best we can without him.
So lights are a big factor on having a safe tree. Placement of the tree in the house is another big factor. Many of the houses have hot air heating systems which tend to dry out the house. You don't want to put this right near a duct. You don't want to put it near an electric heater. You don't want to put it right near the radiator in the old steam systems. You want to try and have it stay as long as possible. You spend a lot of money for these trees, and you should enjoy them for the longest time that you can. Personally, my tree I put up as soon as I can, which is usually late, but we make a tradition of taking it down on New Year's Day. We take the time to wrap the ornaments and don't leave it up much beyond that. As a safety factor, no, not necessarily, but it's a good idea.
Now, would you recommend that, Bill, for even the fresh cut ones that the people go out and cut down in the tree farms?
Yes.
Recommend it as well?
The reason I say that is a lot of these trees that you see in my shop, for instance, have been cut the end of September and in October. As I say, they seal themselves off and they stay outside in the cold nice and fresh. Now, we try not to pile them up. If you pile up one of these trees and we get, warm days, what will happen is it will act like a compost pile and dry the tree out. Now, the method that we use for displaying our trees is one where we put them on a peg So we drill a hole in every tree. When I drill that hole, I can tell whether that's a fresh tree or not. And I won't put a dry tree out for sale. We'll throw it away. I'm not in the business of selling shoddy products, and you should demand the best from whoever you buy it from. Christmas wreaths, important with them. Last year we had one to demonstrate that a customer had put up the wrong way. What is the wrong way? Placing the wreath on an inside door when you have a storm door covering it. What this does, it creates a mini greenhouse and will cook that wreath. Last year the lady had the wreath up for 1 week facing south, and she went away. The door never opened, so that wreath cooked. And hopefully they'll show you how that wreath burned just touching a little flame to it. It acts like a time bomb. We don't want any time bombs on your doors.
Right, I believe, Paul, we could probably cut away and show that clip right now of, so it's fresh in everyone's mind. We'll just...
A1's on fire. Yeah, the police are going to call it. You let them know what?
You talked about having some trees outside of the display. We can go out and look at those in a few minutes, but what else about the trees should some of the people be aware of?
Well, as I say, make sure they get a fresh one to start with. Make sure it's fresh cut before they put it in the stand, and keep that stand filled with water. On the wreaths, some people say they can't hang them on that outside door. There are many ways you can do it. If you come in, we'll show you. We have products. We have a magnetic wreath hanger. A home cottage industry in Situate, a lady makes them, and it's 2 magnets. They go on either side of the window, and you can hang up to a 8-pound wreath on it. There are other ways too. We can show you how to wind ribbon around and what have you. This magnetic wreath hanger will even work on a steel door, which you never want to pierce because it loses its fire rating.
Now, I know there are a lot of products out there in the market right now for preserving the trees and stuff. You just said water. Is that the best thing to use, is just tap water or warm water?
I sell Prolong or any of these tree fresheners. To be perfectly honest, the best thing to do is get a fresh tree, fresh cut the butt, put it in water right away within the hour, and use warm water so that it doesn't help make it, real cold water might help seal faster. So, you know, true, I sell the products, but I don't recommend them. I use fresh water. I make sure that tree is full. We even have some new gadgets this year that we're carrying where you can take a 2-liter bottle. After you fill the stand with water, put this 2-liter bottle upside down in this contraption. It has a little tube going over to the tree stand, and it'll keep the tree stand filled with water, so you don't have to watch it as often.
Especially if people like myself, if forget to water it, or you ask your children to do it, and you go to check it, and it's dry as a bone.
Now, I thought you were like an elephant. You never forgot.
Well, no, that's why I have children and a wife, to remind me.
Ah, that's good.
Bill, you have a beautiful selection of poinsettias all along here, and I'm sure that when Paul pans down, you'll see them. I know a lot of people like myself like to decorate inside their homes with the poinsettias. What I understand that there's a problem with poinsettias, that they're poisonous, but what's the real story? I mean, they're beautiful, and what could happen if, say, for instance, an animal or even a young child does eat a leaf or...
Well, poinsettias are poisonous. The question is the degree of poison. We have many houseplants that are even more poisonous. Now, I have cats here. We call them company cats, and they have no problem with them. A young infant, maybe. They'd have to eat a lot of the leaves to do that. The taste is bitter, so most animals will just leave it alone. Some people who have indoor animals have a problem that way, where they eat their plants. There are many ways you can avoid that. We put together some winter ryegrass seed in a bulb pan, and you put some dirt in it, and put the winter ryegrass seed in, and your cats and pets have grass that you all winter. Keep it inside. Works great. But in general, no. There is not a real problem with poinsettias. What is even more poisonous than poinsettias is the leaves of rhubarb.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's a new one on me, so I'm learning something new. I hope you learn something new out there, too.
But poinsettias are a fairly safe plant to have, you know, baby should be watched all the time anyhow. But he'd have to eat an awful lot of plants to...
Oh, that's good. You made me think a little bit that poinsettias are poisonous, but I'd have to eat a whole bunch of them, and I like to eat, so I don't think I'll eat the poinsettias. But
Joe, I don't think I have enough poinsettias here to kill you.
how about make me just a little ill?
Uh,
Maybe?
A little more?
A little more? Okay. how about if we go outside and take a look at the trees, and you can take a look at the selection that we have out there, and in the meantime, we can talk about mall safety too.
Okay. You have to watch for a white one for Maven.
A Fraser fir and a balsam fir?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll have to look at the difference of these.
Well, the balsam fir
Yeah?
has needles that basically come out on either side of the stem on a plane, while the Fraser fir has them come out in a circle all the way around the stem. Your Fraser fir is a tighter needle, softer needle, and a lot of people say, oh, that's a great tree because it doesn't drop its needles. Well, no tree should drop its needles a lot if it's fresh. Fraser fir tends to grow in a nice traditional Christmas tree shape, while most of the balsams are sheared as they are growing to make sure they maintain that shape. Is one tree better than another? I don't think so. The Fraser fir will not smell. The balsam tree gives you that Christmas tree smell. So you can cheat with the Fraser fir by taking a few pieces of balsam and sticking them way deep in there, and you'll get that aroma. I myself prefer the balsam. The Fraser fir is more money. It costs a little bit more money, and but I like the traditional balsam.
That's something I would do.
What? Put the
Sneak it all the way back.
oh yeah, you're a sneaky guy. You know?
Sneaky guy, yeah. Well, you've got quite a selection here. I don't know if Paula was able to pan through, but you've got quite a selection, and hopefully they'll be all gone.
I'm glad to see that you were able to pick out your tree. It's nice, big and fat one.
Yeah,
you know?
it merited after me.
Well, I didn't want to say anything.
That's all right. I'll
like
be the first one to say it. I'm not afraid. But
That's
I'm
how I
slimming
picked
down.
mine.
That's my resolution before the end of the year is to slim down. I want to look like my buddy Dave.
Oh, you think I'm slim?
Not really.
Some
but
people
that's-
talk about my
Actually,
jeans.
I'd like to see you fit in that uniform that we had on the scarecrow here at
That's too thin.
Halloween. That was a very thin uniform
That
I
was
got
very
from your
thin.
wife.
That was very thin.
You retired that uniform?
I didn't even know they took it. It's incredible what they can do behind my back. And
It's all washed and ironed, ready for you to wear
ready
again.
to wear again?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I think that's we pretty much covered the tree aspect of it. I want to thank you very much, Bill.
My pleasure.
Thank you very
Hard
much.
to believe a year went by, huh?
Yeah.
Since the
goes
last
fast.
show. Wow.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. We did get a lot of feedback from the last show, and hopefully we'll get the same feedback. It was very informative, and thank you again. You don't mind if we use this as a backdrop?
Go right
finish up
ahead.
our show,
Enjoy
dear?
yourself.
All
Thank
right.
you. Well, we're
Number
back
two, huh?
for our second part of Badges, and as you can see, firefighter Arusi brought along his son Anthony. I don't know if he can say hi yet, but I'm sure his dad will say hi for him.
Hi, everybody.
Now, this is his first Christmas?
This will be his first. He's
This will be his
10
first?
months old.
Excellent. Very
And
nice.
He does spend a lot of time in the malls, so this will be good to listen in on.
Yeah, we have Mom here making sure that he stays nice and warm. We're not going to... Yeah, you have to put the hat on. It's kind of chilly out here.
Yeah.
Got his respectable hat, not the funny one.
That's a good hat. That's a good hat. Thanks, Sandy.
You
That
welcome.
warmer?
Well, as the Christmas season approaches and the shopping season is upon us right now, I think there's like 24 more days of shopping before Christmas, or 23 more days shopping before Christmas. And I'd just like to comment on a couple of things that I've seen as I've gone into the malls and in the parking lots, Dave. One of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of people, when they leave the stores and they have their hands full of shopping bags and other things on their minds, and they have to go to another store because they didn't find what they were looking for, they're preoccupied about what they have to find next. And as they're walking to their cars, they leave themselves prey to somebody who may be out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there is somebody out there, but the possibility of somebody out there that could possibly take their bags from them or even just grab their pocketbooks and run. And what they should be doing is they should have a clear mind while they get to the car. My suggestion would be is before you leave the shopping mall at all, before you leave the store, and you know you're going to your car, is to take your keys out. Have your key ready. Now, a lot of people have the electronic locks. Have that ready so when you get near your car and you can unlock and you can get out quick. He's just like his father. He wants the microphone. I can't believe it. This is incredible. It's an inbred thing. I don't know what it is.
I always tell my wife to park where it's light, close to the doors, you know.
Yep, and that's what you should do. And I know that right now that there are a lot of spaces that are filled up. take the time to drive around 1 or 2 times to see if you can get a close parking space near the store or near a lighted area. That would be my suggestion. I know it may be an inconvenience to have to walk or drive around 2 or 3 times around the parking lot, but it's for your own safety. I know that a lot of store malls now have outside security,
Right.
and which is nice to have that, but you know, they can't be all around the parking lots in the front or in the back at all times. So to help yourself, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that's great.
The other thing is to be aware of when you're inside the malls itself. I mean, it's kind of busy right now, and the stores are kind of crowded, and the malls are crowded. This is an opportune time for pickpockets to come out. And though we haven't had any incidents in our town, and we're very fortunate of that, I don't know about Framingham or Natick where the larger malls are. Maybe the opportunity for a pickpocket to come out could be there. So make sure that you have your money, in your pants pockets that are, in your front, in the front pockets to make it easier, more accessible to you, and difficult for somebody to have to go. And you know when somebody's going reaching in your front pocket, than reaching in your back. And when people do bump into you, make sure, just check, do a quick tap and make sure that your items are still there, and don't feel offended if someone bumps into you. That could be a legitimate mistake, but you never know. It could be somebody else. Oh, bless you. And just some of those things that just to be aware of. We ask you to enjoy your shopping and have safe time doing it, and enjoy yourselves doing it, because this is what it's all about. Shopping for others. Now, speaking of shopping for others, what are you going to get me?
I'm going to get you something really nice, a jacket.
You're going to get me a
You're
jacket?
not wearing a jacket today.
Well, no. Maybe in a couple of months after I lose all this weight, I will need the jacket. But right now,
Oh,
I have
so-
a lot of blubber.
So then you do have a jacket on underneath your sweater.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Are you going to cut that out, or are you going to leave that on? I think we
no.
should leave that in here.
We should leave it in there. Tony's wearing his jacket, I'm wearing mine.
Well, shall we wish everybody in Ashland a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah,
Sure.
Happy Holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Okay, before we say goodbye to all the citizens of Ashland, you and Chief Kinder have a fundraiser going on for the Ashland Emergency Fund during the holidays. You want to explain that, please?
Sure. This is the second year in a row with the bike helmets. It's an offer that is pretty unique. For $5, you can go and purchase a helmet for your child, and that $5 goes right to the Ashland Emergency Fund to help people in the town that are in need during the holidays. And it's a great thing. It works. It's a 2-for-2 deal.
Right.
The children are safe with their helmets on, and then needy people in Ashland are helped by the money that comes from it.
By the money that's raised.
And it's from a gentleman who every year donates stuff to the Ashland Police and Ashland Fire Departments for us to give to other people. So it works really great.
I know he wants to be named anonymous, and that's
Right.
the way this gentleman is.
Right.
And I know he's out there listening, and on behalf of all of us at the police station and I'm sure at the fire station, we really want to thank you very much for what you do for the community. It's just not what he does for the Ashland Emergency Fund, but even for the Ashland Dare program and the Firefighters Association. He donates items for us to raffle off and give away, and we really appreciate that. We want to thank you.
And not only that, Joe, but what we have to mention, I know we mention this gentleman every year, but it's not just him. It's also the business people and the townspeople of Ashland who donate in their own ways. And I just appreciate everybody who helps us throughout the year.
Absolutely, and I have to agree with you with that and concur with you on that. It's this Ashland, the town of Ashland, is a great town to be in. I think that's why we're here.
Oh yeah, and we do Ashland Day every year.
That's right.
We do the Badger Show.
That's right.
We have Bill from Beck and Green. We have Barbara Chisholm and Paul Bodwin behind the scenes that nobody ever sees.
That's right. One of these
We should
days,
get the camera someday. And
we
turn
should
it
turn.
around.
We should do a reverse badges and just put it on them.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
good. But Paul would be speechless, and of course Barbara may want to add a few extra things. So that
It's like you and I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely.
I sit back and watch, and you talk,
That never happens. It's the
And-
other way around.
and then you grow a mustache or try to, and I don't.
I knew this was going to happen. It's
It's
only for a
looking
short period of time. It's getting there. It's
Yeah.
getting there. The pencil's working.
You want a comb?
No, I don't need a comb yet. We're working on it. But if you come to the Ashland Police Station, we didn't tell them where the helmets are.
Oh,
They're at
I'm
the
sorry.
Ashland Police Station, and the $5, we will accept check, cash, and come on down. Just talk to the person at the front desk and tell them you'd like to buy one helmet, 2, 3, or 4, and we'd be happy to give them to you. And again, all the money and the proceeds go to the Ashland Emergency Fund.
And if anybody wants to call there, it's at the town hall, Isabel Harrison, And I believe you can call 881-0100 would be the town manager's office.
Right.
And then in the book would be Isabel's number, which I don't know off the top of my head.
I do.
What is it?
It's 881-0109.
0109. So just call her. Help out.
Help out. Thank you very much. Happy holidays, everybody.